waiting for the car to pass. There we go. Hi, it's Nick. How you doing? Today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently from our norm. As you can see, I have a real face. Sometimes scares you guys when you learn that. Sorry about my face. But yes, this video is sponsored by Marvel Snap, and that's the game we're going to be looking at today. But I'll be honest with you guys, once I was offered this collaboration, I jumped right on board for a couple of specific reasons. One, well, it's nice to take a break from anthropomorphic hedgehogs every now and then, and it's been a long time since we covered anything Marvel related, and I really miss that. Secondly, and more importantly, I've heard nothing but good things about this game since it first launched back in 2023. I've been jonesing to check it out for myself. Unfortunately, and I didn't think about this until after I agreed to do this video, I don't know anything about card games. But thankfully that actually works out for us because this game is known to be incredibly accessible and very fun no matter your skill level with card games, and I am proof of that. I first played this game just a couple days ago and I can safely say it is a lot of fun. Like, with or without this video, I'm going to be playing this on my phone or on my tablet or on the PC because it's available on all of those, and you can use one account and just play across any of those devices, and that works out great for me. Like, there are times I was marathoning this, and long after I didn't need to record anymore, I just kept playing the thing. And it's also great just for a quick little game in between meetings, or if you're waiting for the bus, anything like that. Just a great time killer with some incredibly deep strategy, and I mean, it really scratches that collector itch as well, with an incredible amount of cards featuring some beautiful artwork. They even show you the artists that worked on each individual card. I really appreciate that. And yes, there's a lot of deep cuts here, so if you are a comic book fan at all, you're gonna find something to like here. It is free to play, so you can just hop straight in. There's a lot of stuff you can do here without ever having to pay a dime, but there is a shop there if you are so inclined. Now, if you're like me, even if you do appreciate all of this art, you might be overwhelmed at the number of cards if, like me, you're unfamiliar with card games and you feel like there might just be too much to learn with this one particular game. Again, that's not the case at all, because there is a very simple set of rules that this is all built off of. Yes, there is some deep strategy that you can play around with, and each card does bring in an individual technique, but as long as you understand the base mechanics, the rest just comes in naturally. But how's the game work? Well, like I said, very easy. It's you versus another player. The goal is to conquer 2 of 3 battlegrounds set on the game board. You do that by simultaneously placing down cards each turn at one of the different battlegrounds. Using cards costs energy, and your allocated energy is on the left-hand side of the screen, which matches with the left-hand number on each card in your deck. So if you have a 0 in your allotted energy and a 6 on your card, well, sorry bud, you ain't playing that card. Not just yet. But you get more energy each turn, and the game only lasts 6 turns for a grand total of 3 minutes, and you can only place down 4 cards per battleground. The player with the most power on each battleground wins that battleground. Power is the game's terminology for points. So basically, the most points per battleground wins you that battleground. Win at least 2 out of the 3 battlegrounds, then you win that game. Simple as that. And of course, each individual card has a unique ability. So some cards can add more power or assist other cards, and there's only 12 cards per deck, so it really isn't that overwhelming at all. And even if you're not that confident with just 12 cards, you can build a deck automatically based around one specific card. The game will just do that for you, and that's a great way to kick things off. I did that quite a few times myself until I felt like I had the basic gist of things, and I was excited to get a little creative myself. From there, things expand out. For instance, each battleground has its own particular set of rules, so some might negatively affect the points on each card you play at that battlefield. Some might give it a boost, some might warn you that they'll completely change the rules at a particular turn. There are hundreds of battlegrounds here. I've certainly not seen all of them. And again, on top of that, you have to consider what each individual card does and how it will be affected with the battleground. There have been a couple times where I've used a card's ability with the wrong battleground and the match completely flipped against me. But that's part of the learning, that's part of the fun, and honestly, it's kind of rad when you come across cards you've never seen before to see how it's going to affect the game, how it's going to challenge you. And what's more, you can tell that they really cared about the characterization. The rules make sense for the character. Like Hulk, for example. He doesn't have any real special abilities. You'll get some cards like that every now and then. Some of them are just straightforward. He's just an incredibly powerful card. You just throw him on there if you need some muscle at one of your battlegrounds. And that can actually help you put together your deck. If you have a favorite set of characters, it's likely that they're going to work in harmony with each other and they might relate to the personality you know them for. And it helps you build a little bit of confidence when you build a deck. Like, yeah, it's cool that the game can automatically put one together for you, but I wanted to try my hand at it, so I built a deck based off Avenger characters. Since I know them well enough and since they are already a team, I assume that the individual characters would work well together in a deck, and turns out, yes, they do. They really carefully crafted this game. I just grabbed random Avengers, and the energy amount versus the power amount evened out perfectly. And some of the skills are either on reveal or ongoing. Basically, a card's special ability can activate the moment it shows up in just that one time, or it's ongoing, meaning it consistently uses that ability through the game. And of course, there's a bit of strategy when it comes to the energy points versus the power points. Sometimes even a weak card in terms of power can be incredibly beneficial to the rest of the team depending on its special ability. So Iron Man, for example, you can see here he has 0 power points, meaning if you just slap him down by himself, he doesn't really benefit the battlefield. But if you place him on a battlefield with other cards already in play, he will double the points on your side of the battlefield. And since he's a higher cost card, he's not a card you're going to be able to play until one of the last few turns. And again, there's only 6 turns per game. So while you can get a bunch of crazy combinations and really utilize a lot of special abilities, even if each individual card has a different unique ability, you're never going to be completely overwhelmed because the game is as short as it is. You can plan ahead a few steps, but you don't have to plan ahead like 20 steps. You know what I mean? Now, you might have noticed the cubes in the screen this whole time and been wondering what that's all about. See, the cosmic cubes are things you can earn when you win ranked battles. These allow you to unlock ranked rewards and reach higher ranking tiers. And once you hit rank 10, well, this is where the snap comes in. Basically, it allows you to double the stakes. So if you feel like you're gonna win, you can challenge the other player by going double or nothing for the cubes on the line. Of course, if you're good at bluffing, you can also try that as well, if you're braver than me. So you basically have to click the cube, and it will cause the stakes to double on the next turn. Each player can snap once during a match. And on that final 6th turn, the stakes will also automatically double. Of course, if you're not feeling confident, you can always retreat. And you have 2 options. You have retreat now or retreat later. Retreating now ends the game right then and there. You're gonna lose the amount of cubes that you have displayed, but better to cut your losses if it's gonna get really, really bad for you. Retreat later is interesting though. Instead of instantly ending the game, it gives your opponent the chance to agree to the retreat. And if both of you agree to it, the game ends in a tie. I was a little worried that there would be way too many games that just end in somebody retreating if they're doing badly, but you really have to think that option through thoroughly. It just adds another layer to the gameplay. And I also like how they upgrade your cards. They'll always keep the same basic ability, but you can do things that really flourish the card. Like the first evolution will break the frame so the art pops out a bit, and then it'll go into 3D, and it could go up to animated. And you can also add special flares to the card, and those are fun little animations to see as you place them onto the board. But as you do that with your cards, you're also leveling up in different ways, unlocking a lot of little bonuses like mystery cards. There's a ton of ways you can unlock different characters or variants of said characters. There's a lot here that benefits you if you're here for the combat, the competitive edge, or if you're here more for the collector side of things. There are a ton of missions and events and campaigns. There's a lot of stuff to do here. You're never going to be bored. You're never going to run out of stuff to do. You can actually unlock the season pass if you get through the recruitment campaigns, which is really cool. It's won a bunch of awards like best strategy game. It's just a really good package. So thank you to Marvel Snap. Thank you to Second Dinner for not only supporting the channel, but for also giving us a fantastic game. That is going to do it for today, and I'll catch you guys later. Toot toot, Marvel Warriors.